Welcome back to the channel. Today we dive into the chilling story of Presence 2024, a gripping tale of haunted souls, hidden secrets, and a family caught in the grip of a terrifying entity. From mysterious dimensions to a deadly threat lurking in the shadows, this movie takes us on a suspenseful journey where nothing is as it seems. Stay tuned as we unravel the dark truth behind Chloe, her family, and the presence that won't let go. Let's get started. The movie opens with a mysterious presence already lurking in an empty house. From its perspective, we explore the quiet halls before it vanishes into a cupboard. Soon, a family visits the property: Rebecca, her husband, son Tyler, and daughter Chloe. Rebecca is instantly drawn to the house, especially since it's close to Tyler's swimming school in Talon. Despite the house being out of their budget, she decides to buy it, prioritizing Tyler's athletic dreams over everything else. Her husband, however, is worried about Chloe, who's been emotionally distant ever since her best friend died. Rebecca, seemingly oblivious to Chloe's trauma, focuses entirely on Tyler's future. The entity listens silently as Rebecca discusses her troubled past near an antique mirror, over 100 years old. It starts following her. Meanwhile, Chloe, while exploring a room, senses a presence watching her from the cupboard. Later, when renovations begin, several laborers quit, claiming the house feels haunted. Despite the unease, the family soon moves in. Over a phone call, it's revealed Rebecca committed fraud to afford the house, and she feels no guilt, believing anything is justifiable for the sake of family. Chloe, still grieving, cries herself to sleep. But when she wakes up, she senses someone close, perhaps the spirit of her late friend, Nadia. She whispers toward the cupboard, suspecting it's Nadia. Though the entity remains silent, it begins tidying up her room when Chloe steps out. Seeing her belongings mysteriously arranged, Chloe is shocked but soon finds comfort, thinking her friend's spirit is looking after her. She hides this from her family and brushes it off when her father checks on her. That night, her dad voiced concerns about Chloe's well-being, reminding Rebecca that another local girl also died from a drug overdose and Chloe might need therapy. But Rebecca remains dismissive. Tyler returns home with his friend Ryan, who takes an immediate interest in Chloe. Tyler warns him to stay away from his sister. Later, when Chloe is home alone, Ryan visits. She invites him to her room, and though hesitant at first, he eventually joins her. They take drugs and bond over shared loneliness. Ryan, disturbed and oddly fascinated by death, asks Chloe how it feels to lose someone. As their connection deepens, the entity violently breaks a cupboard to stop them. Chloe realizes it's Nadia's spirit trying to protect her, while Ryan dismisses it as an accident. The next day at dinner, Chloe hesitantly asks her family if they feel another presence in the house. Tyler mocks her, saying she's still traumatized. Hurt and crying, Chloe is scolded by her father, and Tyler storms off in anger. Later, urged by their father, Tyler tries to apologize, but Chloe kicks him out of her room. Tyler, feeling no remorse, boasts to his mother about leaking a girl's private photos as a prank. Shockingly, his mother doesn't reprimand him, but the entity is not as forgiving. That night, Tyler's room is wrecked. His trophies, medals, and mugs are smashed by an unseen force. Hearing the commotion, the family rushes in, stunned and terrified. The invisible presence had made itself known, and Chloe, convinced it's Nadia, begins to fear and understand its true intentions. One by one, the entire family flees the house in fear. Chloe reassured everyone that the presence in the house was not something to fear. It was her friend Nadia's spirit who had come to stay with her. Despite Chloe's insistence, Tyler and his mother were reluctant to enter the house again, though they gradually began to believe that Chloe was telling the truth. Accepting Chloe's perspective, the family still hesitated to return inside, but Chloe's father supported her and eventually managed to convince everyone to come back into the house. Once back at home, Rebecca's husband called the woman from whom they had bought the house and asked why she had sold them a property if it was haunted. The woman explained that, to her knowledge, there had never been an entity there before. However, if they were experiencing paranormal activity, she said she would send her sister-in-law, who was a psychic specializing in freeing people from such spiritual troubles. Rebecca's husband agreed to this. The following afternoon, the psychic arrived. Almost immediately upon entering the house, she felt a sudden breeze and knew there was a genuine presence inside. After carefully observing the surroundings, she confirmed that an entity was indeed there, and it was suffering, much like Chloe was, weighed down by grief and trauma. This revelation shocked the family since they had not disclosed Chloe's emotional state to the psychic. The psychic explained that Chloe was the only one who could sense the entity because her trauma had opened what she called the door to the fourth dimension. This opening allowed her to receive messages from spirits and beings beyond the ordinary world, something most people cannot experience. The psychic herself had once undergone a similar opening and dedicated her life to helping others through it. When Chloe asked if the entity was her friend Nadia, the psychic sadly said no. She did not know who the spirit was because even the entity seemed confused about its own identity. It was trapped in the wrong timeline, stuck between dimensions, unable to find a way out. The psychic went on to explain that time behaves strangely in the fourth dimension, with past and future collapsing into one another, which causes spirits to become disoriented and lost across different timelines. The psychic was especially intrigued by the house's old mirror, which was about 100 years old. Old mirrors, she said, are often gateways for spirits. She tried to communicate with the entities through the mirror, but a strange blue light appeared in the house and gave her a powerful shock. This left her ill and forced her to leave, unable to continue the investigation. After some time, the entity's disturbances ceased. Even as Chloe's friendship with Ryan grew stronger, the presence no longer bothered her. It seemed to retreat, hiding itself in the closet to avoid interference. One day when Chloe was about to drink some juice that Ryan had spiked with drugs, the entity intervened by shaking the table and spilling the drink, saving Chloe without her even noticing. As Chloe's mental health improved through her bond with Ryan, the door to the fourth dimension began to close, and she could no longer sense the spirits. Chloe and Ryan made plans to meet on a Friday when her parents would be away, even though Tyler would be home. Meanwhile, on that same day, the psychic met with Rebecca's husband privately. She revealed that the entity was not tied to the past, but to something in the future, a warning about an event linked to the house's window. However, Rebecca's husband struggled to understand the meaning of her cryptic message. Rebecca had firmly forbidden the psychic from returning to the house, telling her to stay away. Yet that night, the psychic was tormented by the presence and urgently needed to warn Chloe. She tried to reach out, trying to wake her, to touch her, but an invisible barrier stopped her. Since Chloe had finally emerged from her mental trauma, the spirit could no longer make her feel its presence or communicate. It was as if a door had closed between their worlds. Friday arrived and Ryan came over to Tyler's house. He greeted Tyler, then went straight to the kitchen where he poured drugs into 2 glasses of juice, one for Tyler and one for Chloe. After Tyler drank his glass, he quickly fell asleep. Ryan took the other glass and went to Chloe's room. This time, Chloe sensed something was wrong. Fearful, she asked where Tyler was. Ryan lied, saying he had put Tyler to sleep. Chloe immediately realized what Ryan had done and demanded he leave her room, refusing to be near him that day. Ryan tried to calm her and pressed her to drink the spiked juice. The entity watched helplessly. It wanted to stop Chloe from drinking the drug juice, but couldn't physically intervene. Despite the entity's presence, Chloe drank it and quickly lost consciousness. In that moment, Ryan's true nature was revealed, a cruel, thick-skinned man who derived pleasure from torturing and killing girls. He pulled out cling film and wrapped it tightly over Chloe's mouth, slowly suffocating her. Every time she nearly died, he would loosen the cling wrap just enough to prolong her suffering because he enjoyed seeing her agony. It was then revealed that Ryan had murdered Chloe's friend and another girl before. He was a serial killer. He planned for everyone to think Chloe's death was caused by a drug overdose. The entity desperately tried to save Chloe, but was blocked by the invisible barrier preventing contact with humans. Determined, the entity turned her attention to Tyler. She tried to save him by moving objects to wake him, but he remained unconscious due to the drugs. Finally, she screamed loudly in his ear, jolting him awake. Panicked and remembering Ryan was in the house, Tyler ran upstairs. There he found Ryan attempting to kill Chloe. In a struggle by the window, Tyler managed to push Ryan, but both fell to their deaths. After this horrific event, the family decided to leave the house. The loss of their son, Tyler, was a crushing blow, especially for Rebecca, who had bought the house with hopes of happiness for her family. Her grief shattered her mentally. In her fragile state, she began sensing the entity's presence herself. She approached the ancient, 100-year-old mirror and finally saw the spirit, realizing it was none other than her son's soul. Tyler's spirit had returned from the past, not to haunt, but to protect Chloe and save his sister. Rebecca screamed and wept, telling her husband and Chloe the truth. The entity had been their beloved Tyler all along, come back to save them. Tears flowed as they mourned and found bittersweet solace in this revelation. The spirit, having fulfilled its purpose, left the house and ascended toward the sky. Freed at last, Tyler's soul departed peacefully, bringing closure to the haunting story. Thank you for watching our full recap of Presence 2024. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the story, please make sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and hit the notification bell so you never miss out on our latest movie recaps and reviews. We appreciate your support and look forward to bringing you more exciting stories soon. Until next time, stay safe and keep watching.